All right, let's get straight to it. We have to cancel Joe Biden. I was gonna say another word that starts with the hard K sound, but then I would probably get arrested. But we gotta get this nigga out of here. It's bad news. I want to apologize to any of my followers who witnessed me supporting Joe Biden in the presidential election last year, and not because I don't think we should have elected him necessarily, but more like I don't want to be seen as someone who said that we should have elected him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily think I definitely don't think Trump was the better choice at all, and I don't think sitting out election serves anyone. Like people, every time there's an election, people were like, "Yo, I don't like either candidate. I'm not voting for anybody." And it's like, who does that hurt? It doesn't hurt the candidate. It doesn't hurt your opposition. It only really hurts you because if the guy you, especially like this there's always a worse candidate. There may not be a great candidate, but it's always a worse candidate. So you sitting this shit out ain't really hurting nobody but your goddamn self. So, bro, Biden was the better candidate. Was he the ideal candidate? Absolutely not. I don't know if there was an ideal candidate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's niggas that you fuck with, but there's never gonna be, as long as we have this system, there's not gonna really be, you know what I mean? Like, this shit sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no two ways about it. There's no good candidates in a system like this. Like, I supported Biden in the general election, but I'm ready to pack this nigga up. I'm ready to pack him up. We got the backwoods are present, the swishers, whatever, what have you, the papers, the cones, nigga. Let's pack him up. The Biden administration said they're not canceling any student debt now, and they went from it was like at like 12% before. Now they said 0% student debt cancellation. What the fuck, bruh? Niggas got to get rid of that student debt, and most of my shit, I think, is mostly paid off, but still, nigga, for future generations, for the homies that in this generation with me that ain't got their shit paid off, we need to get this shit the fuck out of here. Niggas be having all type of funds for all types of bullshit, but they ain't got no money for the kids. I just don't understand it, bro. Like, why would you even say that? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit. That's the shit that upsets me. It's like, why would you tell me that? Like, I always say when somebody says to you, like, I was going to go get you some ice cream earlier, but I ain't get a chance to. And it's like, yo, why would you say that to me? Now I'm realizing that I missed out on ice cream. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't say nothing about no fucking ice cream, I wouldn't even be craving that creaminess. You feel me? And I'm not going to pause that. I don't care. I'm talking about ice cream. It's the same thing with the $2,000, son. The niggas said we're going to give you $2,000. And then what they really did was gave you the match the 1,400 with the 600 from before. That wasn't your 600, Joe. You ain't do that 600. That was somebody else's 600. You got to give us the full two. So when niggas said they was going to cancel our debt, we was with it. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the reigning defending, undefeated, undisputed, most secret podcast in the world. Nobody Asked Shawn. I'm Nobody Asked Shawn. I'm Shawn, not I'm Nobody Asked Shawn. That doesn't make any sense. I'm Shawn Murray, international heartthrob, volunteer comedian, heir to the Murray's hair pomade fortune, first Jamaican in the Kentucky Derby, and of course, the host of this podcast. What the fuck are we talking about here? Joe Biden is a bitch, and I want that nigga to square up. I still think he's better than Trump. It's not like night and day, but it's like night and now it's like dawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump being in office is like just the knowing that nigga was in office always felt like there was somebody behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like stalking you, like following you down the street. With Biden, it's like it's a nigga behind you, but like you used to go to high school with him, and like y'all wasn't cool like that. And he's kind of falling on a hard time, so you don't know if he's gonna do some wild shit, but you have a little bit more faith. Like, I know that's you, Justin. You know what I'm saying? I know that's you. Cause so like if the nigga run down on you, you gonna kind of feel like, yo, Justin, come on, bro. Like, I could just give you some bread. You ain't gotta put that rusty ass knife away. I still you got your class ring on, man. Like, I know that's you. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think he wasn't the best candidate, but like even like Bernie Sanders, like I fuck with a lot of Bernie Sanders politics, but I don't stand politicians. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Bernie would have been like a great candidate because he would have to be operating in the same system that every other president operates in, which is like these niggas not going for your shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially not a nigga like Bernie, who is probably as far left as you're gonna get in the two-party system. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas, he's not exactly fucking radical, but if Bernie got elected and he had said something about student loans and he reneged on that shit too, I would ready to pack that nigga up too. Roll him up. I got no loyalty to these niggas. They're not our friends. Politicians are not our friends. Like I fuck with AOC as well. A lot of her politics. Pack her up just as quickly. And I would wish that people would feel the same about me. You gotta hold niggas accountable. You gotta pack niggas the fuck up. Sometimes you gotta be rolled up into a blunt and smoked down to the ash in order to realize the error of your ways. You feel me? Dozens of our greatest heroes have been packed up before, and they were stronger because of it. Martin Luther King has gotten packed up before. You know what I'm saying? They packed him up. I mean, they ended up packing him up for real at some point. But I'm talking about in terms of, you know what I mean? Like, niggas was on his head. Like, yo, Martin, I don't know about that. I mean, the thing about Martin Luther King was Martin Luther King's approval rating was a lot lower than people pretend it was after his death. Which is, I guess it's true about everybody. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, it benefits from death. For the most part, other than like Hitler, you know what I mean? You got to be, and I'm not to be hack and mention Hitler, but like you got to be just like that level of evil to not get a little bit more. Like even George W. Bush gonna get a little bit more love when he died. I guess they just do that to presidents. You know what I mean? Like presidents get a little bit more respect. Like Nipsey Hussle, for example, and this is not to say Nipsey didn't deserve any love. What I'm saying is Nipsey was not as nearly as famous or as beloved in the mainstream before his death, and his death accelerated and amplified the voices that did support him before, and then brought more attention to him, which he probably would have. It took him way longer to get that sort of attention if he was alive. Just using him as an example, I'm not saying he did or didn't deserve any love. I fucked with Nipsey. Or like Big and Pac, you know what I'm saying? Like Biggie and Pac, you think the niggas was obviously great, but them niggas kind of got stamped into history in a way that they will never. You can't really take them out of those like the top two spots now, because of their death. Whereas like, 'cause them niggas never really had a chance to get whacked. But you die that young and with that body of work, you know what I mean, that you left behind. It's hard to be like, yeah, these niggas was trash. In NBA playoffs, the Knicks lost game 1. If you're a follower of this podcast, you realize you are aware that I bet a ridiculous amount of money that the Knicks will not win a championship for the next 25 years. I'm only a couple of years, maybe 3 years into this bet, and the success of the Knicks this year has given me anxiety, to say the least. So the Knicks losing game 1, I want to say I took joy in that. However, my wallet thanks me. My wallet thanks Trae Young, who I'm not even particularly a fan of. He's a fake Steph. He needs to cut his hair. But congratulations to the Atlanta Hawks, the great city of Atlanta. I wish you many more years of success. I really wish Steph was in the playoffs, but he ain't, and it's, what are you going to do? Now I want to Nobody's Asked Shawn. First question is cereal overrated? You know what? I actually did a ranking of the best cereals on this podcast in the previous episode, and it might sound contradictory to say this, but yes, cereal is overrated. I was eating cereal one day and I was like, this shit is not good. Like cereal is not supposed to be. Cereal is not even supposed to be like a meal. Like cereal is not even like real shit. Like most other countries don't even be eating cereal like that. Like you can't even get most like breakfast cereals in Canada. Like they don't got Crunch Berries. They don't got Fruity Pebbles. And part of that is because the way we fortify our cereals with vitamins and minerals, and the Canada's regulations for how to fortify cereals is like, they be like, y'all be putting too much of that vitamin D or whatever in that shit, and we don't be doing that, and like it doesn't fit those criteria. But also, part of it is the American companies being too lazy to change their branding, because like in Canada, the box has to be in French and English, and it has to have the metric system on there, and American companies is like, I don't even know if the niggas is gonna buy this shit. We gonna spend all this money to fucking make the extra labels and shit, and then they not even gonna buy it, so fuck it. But anyway, Cereal's overrated. There's like a myth that it was created to prevent masturbation. And honestly, that's not true. But after cereal was invented, niggas started saying, this shit is mad bland. And if you eat bland shit, you probably ain't even gonna want to be horny, which is hilarious. And I guess there's a like kind of old timey logic to that. Is like, if you just live a boring ass life, you're just gonna be a boring ass person in every aspect of life. But that's not true. I feel like if you do a mad boring shit, you're gonna be wanting to do mad wild shit. It's kind of the whole story of like the wholesome girl that goes off to college and she's like, oh shit, we could just wild out. You know what I mean? Same thing with eating oatmeal and cornflakes. Cause that's the only kind of cereal they had in the beginning was just cornflakes. So yeah, cereal's overrated. I like sweets, so I eat the shit, but like cereal and milk is like bad. Like I mean, like it's like I like it, but it's also like I wouldn't. It's not good. If a person from like a different country came here, like I would not be recommending them like cereal. You know, necessarily. I would have them try it, but I wouldn't be like, yo, you gotta come try Fruity Pebbles. I'd be like, you know what I mean? You gotta have fucking Migas taco. Yeah, I mean some oxtail. You know what I'm saying? That's not even American food, but that's not the point. Speaking of cornflakes, I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like, yeah, I used to date this girl and she loved cereal. She was like a cereal fanatic. You know what I mean? She really loved cornflakes. And I was like, does that mean she really loves cereal if she loved cornflakes? And like, but then I thought about it. I was like, actually, I guess that does. If you love cornflakes, you love the fuck out of cereal because it has no frills to it. You know what I mean? That's the most bland shit in the world. If you eating plain cornflakes, you in it for the love of the game. What is my ideal pizza toppings, style of pizza, etc.? I'm a pretty basic guy in terms of pizza, like New York or like New Haven style pizza. I don't really eat pork at all, but I fuck with pepperoni, and if I find places that have like alternative non-pork pepperoni, I'll put that shit on there. But yeah, I just love pizza. Pizza's good as fuck. Like pizza doesn't really need toppings to begin with, but you know what I mean? Can't really go wrong with grilled chicken on a pizza. I even fuck with like deep dish pizza and all that shit, but it's like it's just not like it's not my go-to pizza, but this shit is fine. I'm not like a stickler for like this is not pizza, this is a casserole, like whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's good. Bread and fucking sauce and cheese is good in almost all combinations. So, you know what I mean? Do what you want to do. There is bad pizza out there, though. That's what I want to say. People be saying shit like, there's no such thing as bad pizza. It's like, are you insane? I've had awful pizza. You ever had pizza at school, like school lunch pizza? School lunch pizza is only good because you want pizza, and also because the rest of the lunch is pretty bad, and the pizza is probably the better option of all the food you could get during the week. But school lunch pizza is not good. That shit is nasty. So all pizza is not good. You know what I mean? Niggas be saying that shit and that's just bullshit. What is the Gutenberg press and what is the cultural significance? All right, so the Gutenberg press was like in like the 1400s, like 1407 or something. Johannes Gutenberg, I think it was, or Johann. But anyway, basically niggas was printing books by hand before that point, and he invented this shit, and it was just like, all right, boom, we can have mad more books. And it allowed, I mean, like, it was like an educational revolution from that point forward. Like, yeah, I mean, because information was much more easily spread, and it wasn't just only among the elites. And that kind of led to the Reformation. Like, more Bibles were being printed. Obviously, if you might have heard of the Gutenberg Bible, which was like, it's like, the Gutenberg Bible was like the first Bibles that was printed on the Gutenberg press, and it was like 42 lines per page, which was a lot at the time. And them shits was like ornate and beautiful. And it like, there's very few left in circulation, and they're worth a lot of money because like of, yeah, I mean, those are like cultural, historical artifacts. But yeah, the Gutenberg press basically said things like, yo, we can do mad more printing and everybody can read now if you learn how to read. And it led to like the Reformation and shit, and like Martin Luther. Like Martin Luther would not have been the most hated if it weren't for the Gutenberg Bible. So I know he appreciates it, but it also led to his, you know what I mean, being ostracized and all that. So you got to take the good with the bad. They said you can only put like 40 something pages a day with like hand pressing, which is like basically a big stamp. But when Gutenberg invented the printing press, it was like 3,600 pages a day that you could do, which is like a lot more. You know what I mean? So shout out to Gutenberg. We miss you. We love you. We appreciate you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Final question. Why must I cry? Why must you cry, nigga? You know what you did. You know what you did. And You know what I mean? Crying is the least of your worries. You know what I mean? You got more coming your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing once my burglar alarm starts ringing. So, you know what I mean? Laugh now, cry later. I don't know. That's all the questions that I got. I didn't do any recommendations this week because I didn't give it any thought. That is the episode. Like and subscribe and save and share. And thank you. And I love you. And as always, Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, nigga.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.